Hello, welcome back to our free-to-play series. Today we are exploring Killer for the first time on this account. Now, before we get started, obviously there's some things that you're going to notice are very different from playing Survivor. Firstly, you're on your own out there. Your mistakes are your mistakes. You have to limit what mistakes you make as Killer. It is a lot more punishing to make mistakes as Killer than it is as Survivor. When survivors make mistakes, they have 3 other teammates there to help them and push through the mistakes. On this mode, however, you are on your own. This means patrolling generators. This means being able to end chases faster, not extending them. So things that you've learned on Survivor are going to help with your killing. You kind of know and understand what survivors want to do from what I've showed so far during our episodes. As a survivor, you want to push towards the 3 gen with deja vu, usually towards the center of the map, away from the outside of the map, and punish them gens in the center. On Killer, you want the opposite to happen. You want to defend the 3 generators in the center and make sure that the survivors cannot touch them. Sometimes maps vary. As I said, there is an extensive amount of maps in the game, but we'll jump in to the main menu and we can go through some of the stuff that we're looking for today. Okay, here we are at the main menu. First thing you'll notice, the music, the Killer themes are a lot more stronger. Not that it matters, but it's just something nice to hear. I don't have menu music on my main account because I played Spotify through my ear, but obviously for this we're kind of listening to it. But yeah, so first things first, Killers. I believe you will have Trapper, Wraith, Billy and Nurse unlocked at base. And then obviously Hag and Doctor will be your first 2 killers that you can purchase for free. Maybe Huntress as well. Maybe Huntress is unlocked, I don't know. You will not have Bubba, Myers or Freddy like I have. As I said, some other stuff transferred over. We don't want to ready up yet. So, picking your first killer, because this is different to Survivor. With Survivor, you want to put blood points into characters that you want perks from. It's the same with Killer, but all killers benefit from different perks. For instance, Trapper, Unnerving Presence, Brutal Strength, and Agitation are his 3 perks. Unnerving Presence makes the skill checks smaller for survivors when they're in their terror radius. Brutal Strength allows you to kick pallets and unbreakable walls 20% faster, and Agitation allows you to move survivors faster on your shoulder by 18%. Now, Unnerving Presence on someone like the Hag is not very good because the Hag has got a small terror radius. So you want to put these things into account. With the Wraith, he's got Predator, Bloodhound and Shadowborn. Predator's a great perk and a perk that works really well, just not on killers like Wraith and Trapper. To be fair, it can work on Wraith because you can end... Predator works by showing the aura of the survivor you were last chasing when you leave chase. And obviously Wraith can end a chase at any time by going invisible and coming out of invisibility again, so it does work, but it works so much better on the Nurse because she will lose chase constantly and then she will see you and she can blink straight to you. It's one of my favourite perks to run on her. So yeah, picking your first killer. So you should have these 4 at the top. Now, I'm going to literally tell you straight off the bat, personal opinion. She's strongest, then it's Billy, then Wraith, then Trapper. Trapper's one of the weakest killers in the game. He's been one of the weakest killers in the game by far, but that's exactly why you want to play him. Because he's very simple. And we're going to just get into the bloodweb, and I'm just going to smack some blood points into him, the ones that we've got from Survivor. so we can have access to more perks. And have some access to these. And to be fair, what I'm going to be doing is I'll run the trapper bag, which is already on, and I'm going to pair that with the trapper gloves so I can set them faster and I can have an extra bear trap. And then I'll put some cake on, and then we'll have a look at perks. So we don't have a lot right now because we've barely put any blood points in. But what I'm going to go for is brutal strength, agitation, and unnerving presence. These are his 3 base perks, and I'm just going to run these just to give you an idea. We'll run his adept. We do not need to be thinking too much into playing killer. So killer is, on the whole, an easier mode, kind of. You'll kind of understand it as you play. But we're loading in, and funnily enough, this is going to be one of my first YouTube videos where I'm not having to edit through the individual bits to get to the game when I say we'll load up into the file. So I can just go straight through this, which is great. So yeah, we're gonna load in. As I said, once you spawn in, you will notice the map looks incredibly different. Before we load in though, let's have a look at some settings. So in beta, you have first person FOV. This goes from 87 all the way up to 103, I believe. Yeah, I like to keep it around 97, 96. A lot of people run 93. 93 is apparently really good. 94 as well. Anywhere in the 90s range. You don't want to go all the way up because it causes sound issues where you think survivors are closer than they are. Okay, so we've spawned on Blood Lodge. This is typically a survivor map, but that's not going to matter to us because we're already so strong. As you can see, you're in first person view. Second of all, you can see every single generator on the map. Thirdly, as trapper, you can place traps. Now, this is not a very good trap. It's not going to work in the high games, but we're going to do it. Now, trapper has to go around and collect all of his traps. So we're just going to start by trapping this window and trapping the pallet. Now, survivors can disarm the traps, and we've found 2 survivors down, so we're just going to chase this Sable immediately. She's going to make it to this pallet, so we're going to stop, and she's going to let us break the pallet. We're going to go over and pick this survivor up because she's run straight into the trap. And if basement was there, that'd have been some really good early prey. Oh, basement is here. Okay, well then we're going to do basement then. Remember what I said in the last episode about basement being bad for survivors? It's the exact same here. It is the exact same here. And we're going to place a trap on the stairs. Like I said, I'm not expecting to catch anyone out with that, but... And then as we come out, we're going to reset this trap. And we're going to head on our merry way to collect another trap. Now I can see there's some pistons moving on this gen, so we're going to head over to it, and she's run off. So now we're going to go and kick the gen. And we're going to place a trap here. And place a trap here too. Fault the window. And we're going to push him off this gen too. And he let me grab him. That's good. And we're going to put him on a hook. We are going to go down here just to check. And look at that. She's down here. She's got into this locker. She's probably got a decisive strike. No? Cool. We'll hook up. And I'll be honest, I'm just going to check these lockers, mainly because I don't know where Sable went, but we know that she was nearby. And there we go, we found her in this locker. And that is the end of that game. We have won quite convincingly. Okay, we spawned in on the Garden of Joy. Again, another survivor-sided map. And again, we're going to stick to the principles. I'm going to go to the Killer Shack, which is located here at this part of the map. You'll learn them as you go along. And we're going to go and trap the window. Window is always more important to trap than the pallet, because survivors are more likely to run and jump through the window than they are to go through the pallet without seeing it anyway. And we'll collect our trap. You want to do it through like places that survivors might run. So here's a pallet, but it's not a very good one. This is a fairly nice door to trap. And we'll cut that off. Now, we're playing as Trapper, you're going to lose a few gens at the start of the game. Which is fine. There you go, there's one. Told you. It happens. There is a perk that we can acquire for that. And it's a perk you might have already seen in your Survivor games called... It's called... Corrupt Intervention. Okay, so that was the first attempt at a flashlight blind. I've been waiting for one of these survivors to beat in my lobby, and these survivors want to die, so we actually hit Lara, and we just pick her up. We're not trying to be impressive today. And we just follow these scratch marks on the floor, which should lead us to the Fengmin, who has jumped into this locker. No, she hasn't. She jumped out the window and ran round, and she's heading back towards the hook. It's fine, she hit me with the pallet, hit the pallet, and we chase that. So I'm going to show you something here, guys. You see what I did there? I went this way and I went walk backwards. So I'm just going to go up here and kick this guy off the gen because he's doing what I did. And they got her up off the floor, which is what they'll do. That's fine. I'm going to drop down. And she's dead. We'll get her out of the game. So, if there's a survivor with a flashlight, what you do is face them all. What are they going to do? Nothing. And then look down rather than up. Points for abandoning, and instead just get your hugs, and that's it. End of the game. GG's to them. Before we load in, I'd like to bring your attention to another thing that I've been waiting for so we can discuss it together. If you're watching this before the 26th of July, you're in luck because this code will still work. If you press the redeem button, which is down here in the bottom left, whichever your console or PC says the button is for, you will have your thing pop up, and at the minute if you type in Discord 500 and you will be awarded 500,000 blood points. I just thought I'd quickly do that and I do it on stream, so you know I wasn't playing games without you. And look at that, we get a prestige 1 trapper from that. And we've unlocked his perks for all the other survivors, all the other killers in the game. And we've unlocked all the perks that we can do. Got a lot of cakes and stuff, so we're looking quite good with Trapper for now. Okay, we've spawned in on Leary's, which is a new map that we haven't discovered yet on this free-to-play series. Leary's is a difficult map for most killers because of the amount of doorways that survivors can do. But if you ever find yourself here, this is what we call main, and it's always good to just trap the windows up here and save yourself some time if the survivors want to be a bit cocky. With here, you can be a bit smarter if you can get the trap placement correct. This actually stops them from doing both sides without them seeing it, hopefully. And we'll pick up this one. And, oh, hello Leon. I've been blinded, that's what being blinded looks like. Okay, he waited by the pallet. It's fine, they run out of flashlights eventually. And like that, we just hit him. How are we down in? Ooh, we've got multiple flashlighters. Okay, that's fine. We can deal with being a bit under pressure. Just remember, guys, if they're flashlight blinding you, they're not doing gens, and gens is what they need to be doing. Easier. And there we go, we're not nice up against the wall, no chance of being blinded. As much as he wanted to do that. And we place him on the hook. Let's give us some scratch marks to follow, but we're just gonna reset this trap here. And he's running straight for the save on this girl, but we will down him before he gets away. And we're going to pick him up, but we're going to bait just to get another free hit on that girl there. She still tried to do it, and then ran straight into the trap. And again, it's just a case of the survivors being far too cocky for the level that they're playing at. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Now we can hook her, turn around, give this gen a kick, pick up her, no risk of being blinded right now. Hang on, get to this hook here. This is why agitation is such a great perk, because you can just enjoy the nice amount of speed you get. And you can also catch some survivors out with a free hit. We know that they've saved here. I'm going to go back. Being a bit toxic back, you can do that as a killer. You got survivors teabagging, yeah, make sure that you let them know that you are better than them. GG's. And because she's the last survivor in the game and there's someone on hook that's going to die, we can Mori her. And you get a cool little animation. And the game's over. Okay, we've spawned in on Tome Landing, which We already have played before as Survivor, and now as Trapper, gonna want to try and trap up some of the key spots. This is one. Oh, I don't know. I think that doorway's too large for Trapper. Maybe we put it at the pallet here. Hope for the best here. Hoping for the best. Oh, we've got one going upstairs. We get her just before she drops. Now, she didn't get off this hook on her own, so there is another survivor down here. So we check lockers. Maybe not. So this is going to be a hatch game. So the hatch is going to spawn on the map somewhere. No guarantees as to where it is. She played that incredibly well. Nice. That was dead hard. That's an exhaustion perk. It allows you to tank one free hit. And that's another game, another victory. So we move on to the next. Okay, so we've spawned in on Midwich, which is again another map that we have come to know and love so far in this series. Now we know that they can go up and down stairs here, so we'll trap it. Just like that. Just put a trap there. Put a trap on that bitch. This is a window. You know survivors are going to go through it because I bullied the killers through that window, so we trap it. Okay, there's only one way in and out of this room. Let's trap it. Oh, hello Leon. Hello. Well, hey, I should get back here at once. I'm only a trapper, come on. You think you're gonna make that pallet? You don't make that pallet. There, got a gem. Do we get a hook? We see scratch marks. Hello. Weren't expecting me, were ya? You gonna go for the save and did the exact same thing that all the other survivors have done? No. Oh, so we're gonna plop. Down you go. Pick this motherfucker up, put him on a hook. Good thing about Midwich is you can place traps like here. I like this trap. This catches a few people out. What did I say? It catches people out. Oh, hello, you're gonna have a shot. Not for long. And I'm telling you now, Mr. David King is dead because he was waiting for me around the corner. And that game was over just as fast as it started. And that's a GG well played. Okay, so we spawned in back on the Garden of Joy. I'm having a fucking blast here. I know it sounds bad, me just kind of killing new survivors. But this is what your games are going to be like. The survivors you play against are just as new as you. They are not going to have a clue at certain things that they need to do in the game to survive. And you can exploit their weakness. Like the killers that play against you exploit your weaknesses. And you've just got to have a little bit of know. So now we're going to start patrolling. So this is the first gen that we found. We'll give it a kick and we live. As you can see around the map, out of all the gens, to be fair, that one there in the top right corner is the one that I'm happy about leaving. Okay, so we've got some survivors that have a little bit more know about them, so this might be a bit more of a challenging game. These aren't your typical new survivors. These are survivors that I would say were towards the top end. There we go. Hit her through the pallet. Nicky Luda, by the way. You see him camping. These aren't like top MMR, but as I said, trappers are weak killer. So these survivors might beat me if they play it correctly and don't panic. These survivors should beat me this game. I don't quite know about. And just before I pick up Steve, I'll give her a smack. And down. So now this game's going very much our way. As I said, these survivors aren't completely new to the game. They kind of know how to spread out and do gens. As a result of that, got to play a little bit more carefully. Vault the window, set the trap down. He's going to drop the pallet because he's got no other option, and then he's going to run. And we'll catch him up fairly quickly. Okay, so the perk he's just used there is called Off the Record. This is a Zarina Kassir perk. And what it essentially does is it allows you to have one free health state when you come off the hook for the next 80 seconds unless you complete a conspicuous action such as repairing a generator, healing another survivor, healing yourself, doing a totem, opening a chest. There's a lot of things that stop it from working. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a fantastic episode. We've got some really good killer games in. We didn't lose a single time, which I'm sure if you are playing killer for the first time isn't the case, but I will tell you now, it does get significantly easier with killer the more you play killer. Unlike with survivor, because you do not have to rely on teammates, you pretty much just learn the game at your own pace, and once you become a better killer, you'll know this because the games will start to slow down for you. Gens will stop being progressed as much. Survivors will die fairly early into the game, and you will know that you're playing well. I don't think it's particularly hard once you sort of know what the maps are and what gen patrols to do. it does become significantly easier. But I'm hoping you all enjoyed a little bit of Killer today rather than the typical Survivor. As I said, it's a free-to-play series, which means I'm playing both sides as well, just sort of highlighting some of the games that we go into today. Thank you very much for watching. Peace out. Love you all. Catch you in the next one.